Alright, well guys, welcome back to some more DLCs I think you should get. I haven't done the series in a while, mainly because I've been busy with a few other things. Anyways, we're going to be starting off with the Hotline Miami DLC. Technically the first DLC I ever purchased. Pretty sure. Anyways, here we go, down the line here. So, the Hotline Miami DLC is, not really support Dedaton or Devolver, games and everything. And, it's a promotion for Hotline Miami 2 that's coming out, or well, was out during that time anyways. But yeah, it was a collaboration, I guess, with them, and it worked out pretty well. I mean, there wasn't any Payday 2 content in Hotline Miami, which there probably shouldn't have been, so... Yeah, but you get an all-new heist. The heist is a dentist contract, and it's... Well, I mean, it's Hotline Miami, so... basically, you have to find the Commissar, which is pretty much ruining everything for Hoxton, If they move the judges and everything, they can get Hoxton out. But in order to do that, you need to kill the Commissar to, gain some leverage or whatever. So, basically, you have to go to the hotel, do some stuff there, destroy it, cook some meth if you want. Get some cocaine, I think. No, that's in the other one. Anyways, you go over there, try and find the Commissar. He's not there, and Bane finds out where he is. So you go over to Washington, find him, kill him, then you get cash. Also, attention, you have to own Hotline Miami the game on Steam to unlock an item marked with that symbol, the 50 blessing symbol. So let's look over the weapons. You get 3 guns and 4 melee weapons, and 1 extra melee weapon if you do own Hotline Miami. These are all Uzi based on the game. Only I think these two. I don't know. And they're actually alright. I think this one's better than the rest of these. They're pretty good for stealth, but who knows? This is currently after the whole rebalance update, so yeah. Or not, but just after. It's like 11, 17 something. I don't know. Not September. December, November. One of the Novembers, December embers. You get a bunch of melee weapons, normal melee weapons. It's alright, and a briefcase, which doesn't really do a whole lot of damage, but it's just a little thing that's like, hey, fun times. And you get masks, you get the bunny, you got the pig, you got a wolf, you got an owl. And those are completely with the DLC. These ones, on the other hand, you have to get Hotline Miami. So, I guess there's kind of like a paywall to it a bit, to get more content. But it's not really needed. So, it's really just extra stuff if you want to get. They're pretty much useless. But if you want to get it, go for it. And there's some other things, like some patterns and everything. And these achievements you can get all with the DLC, so don't start complaining about you need this extra content to complete those. Let's see, reviews. I don't want to read those. But this was actually the first DLC I ever bought, so I quite enjoy it. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that. Heist is alright. Decent payout. Decent XP currently. So, yeah, no complaints here. Like I said, heists are completely optional. So, move on to the next one, which is the Gage something pack. Gage historical pack. This one is also pretty good. It gives you... It's very balanced, or was very balanced. With the weapons it has. So we'll scroll down here. So this is all World War II themed and everything. And you get 4 guns. 4 guns. Remember that. You get 4 guns. You get a light machine gun. So it's good for the, heavy duty players who are mainly enforcers and everything. And the buzzsaw is probably the best out of all of the LMGs in the entire game, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, you can pick that up. Pick that one up. Let's see. There's the SMG, which is a reference to Star Wars, the shape and design of it. Also, the pawn solo blaster over there, the whatever it's called, the broomstick, best rifle in the game, best rifle in the game, to be honest. So whatever, which is also a Nazi pistol, but whatever. Um, the submachine gun is all right, not good for Death Wish, so you know. Then there's the Nagant, which is possibly the best, like in terms of damage, the best, second best in terms of damage. So if you don't want to be the tank buster, the Thanatos, this is actually the perfect sniper rifle for you. Bit more, makes more sense for a sniper instead of the other one, which is more tactical and everything. Then there's this little German pistol that is crappy right now, and I think they should buff it back to where it was, but who knows. So then you get 4 melee weapons as usual. They're not really important. Here's the thing about melee weapons. Melee weapons are either good for concealment, which is the weapon butt, so it doesn't really matter too much of an extent, because you're probably just going to hit the like if you're stealth, you're probably just going to hit the person or just shoot them, so it doesn't really matter. It just gives you the extra concealment. I guess heavier weapons later on, there's the buzzer, which is probably the best to have in terms of loud, because it stuns enemies, and it doesn't do much. It barely does any damage to them, I'm pretty sure, so it makes it easier for you to intimidate them, dominate them, get them down, and then you get an extra hostage. So it works in that department for the buzzer. But yeah, melee weapons are just useful. And as always, you get the masks and the patterns and the achievements. Also a community bonus, 72 weapon slots. Nothing too special. Do I recommend this DLC? Yes, I do. I think it has great guns, and I think that's why you should buy it. Simple as that. Also, that's a great picture right there. That's a great picture right there. How could anyone not like that? But yeah, next on to the Diamond Heist. Probably the breaking point with Payday in terms of DLC. The Diamond Heist is basically a heist where you go through a museum and trying to find the diamond. The diamond being the diamond. It has been passed down to generation of dead people. Hitler, some other woman, and some other guy. I don't know. But the main point of this is you just steal a diamond, you get, to the dentist. Simple as that. So the stealth, I think, is actually kind of one of the best at the time. And I still think the best stealth in a way. Except for Golden Grin stealth. I don't know. I enjoy the diamond stealth. It's actually kind of nice to stealth by yourself. So yeah. Loud is also kind of fun, but loud is always fun. Anyways, this is the map here. So this is the entrance, and you go through here to here, and this is the main spot you want to get through. But in order to get through the doorways, you need the key cards. And in stealth, you have to pick it from the hostages. Same thing with loud. And everything can be the same thing as loud or stealth and loud. It's just you got to override a security system for that. And in stealth, you got to get some diffuse boxes and everything. As usual, masks and patterns and everything. Multi-skill build, new feature. This does not apply to the actual DLC, so I'll skip over that. And moving on to the Clover character pack, which also people complained about being separate, which at the time I was kind of upset about, but I just don't care anymore. And it's mostly positive, and for a good reason. Main reason being is because this is actually probably the only stealth perk deck, or was when they introduced perk decks. The other one was mostly, crew chief, or because for the extra speed, or hitman, because then you can have akimbos, and akimbos are basically pistols, so it lowers the concealment, and it makes it easier, but yeah. Anyways, with this character, you get the character Clover. Basically, young student to Hoxton. Nothing too special there. So, also like the character, not too bad. She comes with the perk deck Burglar. Pretty much the only stealth perk deck, technically, I guess. So it's pretty good for stealth. You can body bag people faster. You can answer pagers faster. So it makes stealth a lot easier for stealth players. So I do recommend this if you are a stealth player. Also, you get a nice gun, which is good for loud, and, well, hopefully I can test to see if it's good for stealth. Melee weapon, nobody cares about melee weapons. And the Clover Mask, which, I mean, it's not too bad. So you're getting a mask, a melee weapon, a gun, a perk deck, and a character for, well, what used to be $4? $3. No, yeah, it was $3. Weapon packs were also $3, but heists were like $5. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. We can probably look it over. Now, if you're wondering the split in terms of, well, these DLCs are cheaper, then why are these DLCs more expensive, in a way, I guess? Well, see, during the Meltdown update, Overkill decided to make it easier for their customers to buy, well, the last 2 years of DLC by making them, half off. And this makes the DLCs even better because they're cheaper and it's reasonable prices, and if you get it during a sale, then you save more. But this is where we leave the, I guess, cheaper DLCs, and we move on to the bomb heists, which are actually $7. Wow, I didn't realize that. Oh well, if you want to buy it, whatever. Anyway, the bomb heists are basically a collaboration with the team Lion Game Lion. They worked on 3 heists, technically, 2 DLCs in the world of Payday. Bomb Heist and the Golden Grin Casino, which we'll get to that in a later date. Anyways, we're going to be talking about the Bomb Heist as our last and final DLC to talk about. And why this used to be good, but then turned bad? I guess. I don't know. I thought it was actually a good improvement, but eh. And when the 15th DLC. Well, okay. Introducing key features, you get the Butcher, new contact, which only has 2 heists, so she's pretty boring, actually, in my opinion, so, yeah. 2 all-new heists, which, yeah, 2 new heists. You get the bomb heists, plural. You get Dockyard and you get Forest. The better one, in my entire opinion, is Dockyard, because that one, you can stealth, it's also alright for loud, and it just feels way better than Forest. Like Forest, it's tilted, so if you jump, you take fall damage, which makes you less want to jump. But, I don't know, it's just, It's just, I don't know. Anyway, they're not too bad. A new secondary pistol, the Leo pistol, which is apparently overpowered right now, currently, but that'll probably be fixed if the, hopefully, rebalance update for the guns gets pulled, or not pulled, passes through. Also, you get 4 masks. They are achievement based, which those make more sense than actual weapon attachments, which I hate those. And the usual 4 masks and everything, blah blah blah. So all around, as I say as usual, heists are optional. Do I recommend this heist? Or heists? I don't know. It's kind of hard to say because I enjoy them, but also not enjoy them. But the problem with the Butcher is nobody really plays her heists, right? You think about it. Forest, you probably did a Death Wish once. That was it. Probably want to go back there for a challenge maybe, but you really don't want to play it that much, in my honest opinion. I didn't mainly enjoy Forest, but I like the concept of it, but Dockyard was basically a lowered down version of Shadow Raid in a way. In a way, when I say that, is because of all the containers, also like Election Day. But the stealth in it is kind of, how you say, how to put this, I guess easy. I don't know, I don't find it that difficult. Basically, you find key cards, you stay out of cover, you can get extra loot if you want, put the key cards into the thing, opens the bridge, call the guy up, being like, hey, here are the coordinates, find the coordinates onto computers. Give me a second. Excuse me for a drink. And that's about it. Starts to move the ship onto the other side. You can collect loot at this point, which, by the way, best way to collect loot is to have the trash bin nearby you because, well, it's a trash bin and it makes it easier for your job. But yeah, that's just the better way to do it, honestly. So yeah, and once you've done that, you can go over to the boat, look for the what is it? The bomb eyes. The bomb, and then you collect it, throw it into the boat, and that's about it. The loud is very different, which I always recommend boat because you're going to be heading there anyways, so there's really not a whole lot of, there's no point in buying other assets unless you're going to go back to the van or a different escape. I'm not entirely sure how many escapes there are, but it's just easier to have the boat escape because, if you have a good team, you have at least 4 medic bags and 4 ammo bags. That's usually the way to roll. Now with, these whole first aid kits, which are, for dodge builds, to be honest. And yeah, so do I recommend this heist? I don't know. It's just the stealth's enjoyable for dockyard, but it's just forest that I don't particularly like, and I don't know. But as usually I say, heists are optional. Anyways, we'll be reviewing or recapping the DLCs that we took a look at. So Hotline Miami, I would recommend this because I find this super fun and pays very well, and the XP is good. So if you want to be on that front. Gage Historical Pack I recommend because it introduces 4 weapons for each and every single type of person, right? You got the LMG guy, wants to be heavy duty, whatever. You got the SMG, which is also good for, I guess, dodge builds if you mod it right, but is also good for stealth. I have a stealth copy, actually. Next is the sniper rifle, probably the second best in terms of damage. Low on ammo, but it's for more of the players who are far away and can take their shots very well. So, yeah, and then there's the pistol, which, it's a pretty good stealth pistol. I don't mind it. It doesn't have the best concealment, but if you have, like, a car for or something, I think it'd be good. Maybe, like, 4 concealment if you have all the stealth skills. Next is the Diamond Heist. The Diamond Heist is, I do recommend this a lot because the stealth is fun. I find the loud fun. I find everything about this heist fun. So, yeah, that's my honest opinion on the Diamond Heist, so I do recommend that. Clover Character Pack, I highly recommend for stealth players. And, yeah, just because, it has a good loud gun. Nobody cares about the melee weapons, so I don't even care about that. Alright character, not a bad character. And a really good perk deck for stealthers. So, always get that one. So, I always recommend that one. And then there's the Bomb Heist, which, it's opinion-wise. So, DLCs that I have so far I think you should get in terms is, depending on your playstyle with, the Gage Weapon Pack 2 or Snipers or Shotgun or Assault. The ones that I really think you should get are Armor Transport because it gives you more heists, but I don't know, completely optional with you. But I highly recommend, I guess I should be doing the ones that I highly recommend. Gage Weapon Pack 1, Gage Mod Courier Pack, Gage Historical Pack, and the Clover Character Pack. Mainly because it gives you pretty much a bit of everything, You got some stealth there for the stealth players, so if you want to get that for, stealth, but really you just need Gage Pack 1 and then the Gage Mod Courier Pack, and then go do whatever you want. But this is a recap, so yeah. That's about it. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Please check out some of my videos on the channel. I really recently did a Tony challenge. Not recently, in terms of days and months. But recently on the channel, I did a Tony challenge. Pretty fun. Nice and have fun in the second video. They will see coming up in 2 days probably. And yeah, that's about it. Also working on big projects, so if there's no videos, then I'm sorry. There should be at least one, but hopefully I can get one up there. But if there isn't, I'm sorry. I can't really control that. I got a lot of projects. Hopefully ones that you guys will like. Hopefully, if we could get this one to work, which I need to send that to a certain person soon. And yeah, then I pay the heist related project, which may take a while, probably maybe all of my December, really, if I can get it, but who knows, I'm not even sure what's going on in December. And then, school stuff. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Please check out some of the videos on the channel. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I hope you please check out some of the videos about this, because the main point of this series is to show players that there are some DLCs that you should get, and you shouldn't. So yeah, that's about it. Like how I talked about how the weapon pack, is not really for stealth players, it's more for the heavy duty guys, So if you're a stealth player mainly, then you might not want to buy that DLC, so there's no point in getting it. So the main point was just to show players, even though that they have a lot of DLC according to this, which is $110 more than the actual game itself. Wow, you could buy a 4-pack that's like, a cost of a game, so that's actually pretty cool. And then there's the Game of the Year edition. But anyways, this main point is just to show players that there are some DLCs that you should or shouldn't get, in my opinion. But it was supposed to basically just show players not to complain about a whole lot of DLC, because there are some that you really don't need. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this series. Still more to come. Let's see, we got Dragon, Overkill, Butcher. Okay, you serious? All a bunch of Butcher. And then after that, we got the Overkills, also Golden Grin, Soul, maybe Ninja Bag, and then we got the last two. I'm not entirely sure. Actually, it's almost Thursday, so Overkill might actually release something exciting to the public. Maybe. Might release a new DLC this month, so we can check that out, hopefully. And yeah, that's about it. So like I said in, a couple moments ago, but please check out the series. And I'll see you guys in the next video. And as always, have fun.